Hello everyone, today's vlog is all about the Lifetime ISA, the LISA as it's known. So this is a specific kind of ISA introduced by the government about 3 years ago, and it encourages people to save, young people particularly to save for either a house, first time buyers, or to save for their retirement. What prompted me to make this vlog today was specifically a few articles I've read recently in the press saying how wouldn't it be great if a lot of the young people who can't get on the property ladder, wouldn't it be great if they could access their pension pots? And I can see the rationale for that. So if they can't afford the deposit for a house, they haven't saved up enough, but actually they've got a reasonable amount in their pension pot to enable them to put down a deposit. Only thing is they can't access that pension pot until they're 55. So since auto enrollment, and they've had to put in contributions to pensions, and their employers have had to put in as well, it may be that they actually, if only they could access it, they could afford to put down a deposit. So yes, I could see the rationale for why that's getting a lot of traction in the media. However, statistically, it's shown that once people have accessed, tapped into their pensions, because you can do it in other countries, they often then don't top them back up later on, and they're left with a shortfall in retirement. So it's a difficult one. Yes, you may need the cash right now for a great purpose, i.e. to buy a house, but chances are it may never be topped up to the level that it would have been had you left it there and it continued to grow with compound interest and everything else. So one of the things that actually has the same sort of end game, really, that's currently available that not many people are making use of, hence the reason for doing the vlog today, is the Lifetime ISA, the LISA, which has the dual aims of encouraging younger people to save more and also to try and get on the property ladder. So it's not a pension, it's an ISA. So quite a few specific rules on these. So the two fundamental reasons that you'd have a LISA is to buy your first home or to save for later life. So these LISAs then, they are open to anyone who is between the age of 18 and 40 when they take the LISA out. So you have to be in that age range to start one off. And you can put in up to £4,000 a year up until the age of 50. Okay? And then what happens is that the government, they add a 25% bonus each year, up to a maximum of £1,000 a year. So you can put in £4,000 a year. The government will put in £1,000 a year. So that's quite a decent chunk that the government are putting in there. And in terms of what you invested in, it can be a cash ISA or a stocks ISA or a combination of both. You put it in any sort of assets that you could in a regular ISA. So when you turn 50, you can't actually pay in any more into the LISA, and you won't receive any more government bonus from that point. However, at the age of 50, you obviously just leave it invested in the ISA, and you'll still earn interest or investment returns on the pot. So it's just that you can't contribute more in at the age of 50, and you won't get the government bonus at that point. You have to be a UK resident in order to do these LISAs. So that's about putting the money in. What can you do in terms of accessing it? So you can access it, like I've said, for two main reasons: to buy your first home, or once you are aged over 60. Or the third reason is if you are terminally ill and you've got less than 12 months to live, you can access your LISA. So if you did access it for any other reason, so not for any of those three reasons, and you did access the money, then there is a withdrawal charge. So there's a penalty for doing so. So you can get your hands on the money, but there is a charge for doing it in any of those circumstances that are not on the list of what it was designed for. And basically the government will claw back the 25% that they put in. So the contributions from the government, they will claw it back if you access the pot early or for a reason other than to buy your first house. So specifically then, the rules on buying the first house, so the reasons for accessing the pot, buying your first home. Okay, so the property has to cost less than £450,000, and it needs to be bought at least 12 months after you've opened the LISA. And what you have to do is use a solicitor for the conveyance to do the legals around the property purchase, and the ISA provider will transfer the funds direct to the solicitor, and you have to buy the property with a mortgage. Okay, so you can transfer funds from a Help to Buy ISA, if you have one of those, to your lifetime ISA. And I do a separate video on Help to Buy ISA, but it's another government initiative that's been around for a few years. So you can transfer the pot from one to the other. However, not the other way around. So you can't transfer it from your LISA to your Help to Buy ISA because there will be a withdrawal charge. Okay, so what about the second reason for having one of these, which is to save for later life, to encourage people to save? So you can access the pot at 60. Remember, you won't be able to contribute any more in from the age of 50, so you'll have 10 years of just compounded growth on investment returns and interest, but you can access it at 60. And if you transfer your LISA to any other kind of ISA before the age of 60, then again, there is a charge on that. So very narrow, specific, defined range of things that you can do with this, but that's the point. It was designed for two reasons: for young people to be able to get on the housing ladder by having a pot that grows quicker than it otherwise would have done, because the government contribute a 25% bonus each year, up to £1,000 a year, which is a pretty good thing. And the fact it's in an ISA wrapper rather than a pension, so you don't have to wait till you're 55 to get it, in terms of for that purpose of buying your first home. And then the second reason, of course, is if you just want to use it as a retirement, as a savings vehicle for when you retire, then again, generous, the fact that you are getting paid bonuses from the government, but you can't access it until you're 60. So I think these licenses, it's a good thing. Why wouldn't you consider it? Gives us a flavour of the mindset of the UK government that going forward, they're probably going to change how pensions are taxed and move more to an ISA style arrangement. So remember, with an ISA, there's no tax relief on the contributions that go in, but the yields, the income on the assets thereafter, that is all tax-free, and then it's tax-free to pull it out when you need it, subject to the various rules we've stated for the LISA. But generally, it's a tax relief on the way in. It's not a tax relief on the way in. It's tax-free growth, tax-free at the back end. In contrast to pensions, which is kind of the other way around, which pensions, tax relief on the way in, tax-free growth, and then taxable at the back end. So that is a cash flow disadvantage to the government, to the Treasury, because it costs them billions in tax relief for these pension contributions. So a lot of commentators think that the way that the pension market will go in the short to medium term is to be more like an ISA, where actually the savings are for the government come in that much sooner. The fact that they don't have to give upfront tax relief on contributions in, because there are no tax breaks for putting money into ISAs in terms of against your income for tax relief on the contributions, like there are with the pension. So it kind of flips it around. It's a timing thing. And then at the back end, yes, the government will lose out the fact that you can just access the ISA pot tax-free, but that sort of knocks it down, kicks it down the long grass for many decades. So politically, that is where we think the future of pensions may go, more like an ISA. So that was just an overview of the lifetime ISA. Good for considering if you're looking at getting on the property ladder, and the government can help out with that bonus. So if you like this video, please do subscribe up here, and I will see you soon.